Did you know there's a snake whose venom can kill 100 men in minutes? And another that you don't even need to touch to be blinded? Today, I'll take you on a chilling journey through the 15 most lethal and venomous snakes on the planet. From the shadows of the African desert to the depths of the ocean. Some kill without you even feeling the bite. Others are so stealthy, you could be standing right next to them without knowing it. Get ready to meet the true silent predators of the animal kingdom. We begin, if you dare. Number 1. Inland taipan, Oxyuranus microlepidus. In the driest heart of Australia, where the heat scorches even the silence and the wind whispers ancient secrets, lives a snake that doesn't need to roar to inspire terror. The inland taipan. Its scientific name, Oxyuranus microlepidus, sounds like it came straight out of a laboratory. And for good reason. This is no ordinary snake. It is, without a doubt, the most venomous snake in the world. At first glance, it doesn't look that threatening. Its body, shaded in soft ochres, blends perfectly among the desert rocks. It's elusive, shy, and rarely seen. But if it bites you, there are no second chances. Its venom is so potent that a single drop can kill more than 100 adult men. This is no exaggeration. It is pure lethal chemistry. What makes it truly terrifying is not only the potency of its venom, but the speed at which it acts. In less than an hour, a bite can cause total paralysis, respiratory failure, and death. The body collapses before the mind even realizes what's happening. Curiously, this snake was only identified by science in 1972, and its habitat remains one of the most inaccessible and remote in Australia. Little is known about it, not because it's rare, but because it is so elusive. Almost like a ghost that slithers among the dunes without leaving a trace. The inland taipan is not aggressive by nature. It won't attack unless it feels cornered. But if that happens, the outcome can be instantaneous. Imagine, you're walking through the Australian desert. A shadow slides past your feet. You don't even feel the bite. But inside your body, the countdown has already begun. And in that moment, you understand why it's known as the deadliest snake on the planet. Number 2. Common krait, Bungarus caeruleus. On warm nights in South Asia, when the world sleeps and silence drapes over everything like a veil, something slithers through the shadows. It makes no sound. It gives no warning. And when it strikes, you don't even feel it. That's how deadly the common krait is, known to scientists as Bungarus caeruleus, but in rural Indian villages simply called the sleep snake. Because that's when the danger begins. Unlike other snakes that flee from human contact, the krait ventures into houses seeking shelter, warmth, or a mouse to hunt. But if it feels threatened, or gets trapped in the sheets, it strikes. And it does so while the victim is sleeping. The bite is so discreet, so painless, that many never even wake up. Hours later, symptoms begin. And by then, it may already be too late. Its venom is an extremely potent neurotoxin. It directly attacks the nervous system, paralyzing muscles, blocking respiration, and ultimately shutting the body down from the inside. The most terrifying part is that brain function remains active while the body stops responding. It's like being trapped in a conscious coffin. A single bite can be enough to cause death within hours if antivenom is not administered. And yet, this snake is not aggressive by instinct. It prefers to flee, disappearing into the undergrowth. But if cornered, or if by accident it ends up on a bed in the middle of the night, the outcome can be fatal. India and Southeast Asia record thousands of deaths each year from krait bites, and many of those victims never knew what happened to them. They simply closed their eyes to sleep and never woke up again. In the world of snakes, the common krait doesn't need to be the biggest or the fastest. Its most deadly weapon is silence, and its favorite time is darkness, ready to take a life without anyone hearing it come. Number 3. King cobra, Ophiophagus hanna. In the dense, humid jungles of Southeast Asia, where the air itself seems to breathe, and every shadow hides a mystery, reigns a snake whose name commands respect, the king cobra. Its scientific name, Ophiophagus hanna, reveals a key clue about its nature: snake eater. And yes, this colossal hunter doesn't feed on mice, but on other snakes, even venomous ones. The king cobra is not only dangerous because of its venom, it is the longest venomous snake on the planet, capable of reaching up to 5.5 meters in length. Imagine it sliding through the underbrush, rising before its target. When it rears up, it can look an adult straight in the eyes. And yet, the most impressive thing is not its size, but its lethal power. Its venom is a powerful neurotoxin designed to stop its prey within seconds. But in large quantities, it can kill a fully grown elephant. This is no metaphor. Documented cases exist where a single king cobra bite was enough to bring down a multi-ton beast. In humans, it causes muscle paralysis, respiratory collapse, and death if not treated urgently. Territorial by nature, this cobra does not hesitate to attack if it feels threatened. Its presence is often announced by a distinctive sound, a deep hiss, almost like a big cat's roar. It rises, spreads its hood, and warns. Once. Then it strikes with lightning speed. Unlike other snakes, the king cobra is also surprisingly intelligent. It recognizes patterns, defends its territory with precision, and even builds nests to protect its young. A nearly maternal behavior unseen in any other venomous snake. Respected, feared, and revered in many cultures, the king cobra is not simply a threat. It is a sovereign of the wild, a majestic creature that doesn't need to hide, because it knows no one would dare challenge it. Number 4. Black mamba, Dendroaspis polylepis. In the hot plains and dry forests of sub-Saharan Africa, there's a legend whispered among herders and travelers. If you see a long shadow streaking across the ground like lightning, run. Because you've just crossed paths with the black mamba, one of the most feared snakes on the planet. Its scientific name is Dendroaspis polylepis, but few call it that. On the savannah, everyone knows it as the kiss of death. Not because of its color, which is usually brown or olive gray, but because of the inside of its mouth. A deep black, like the threshold of the end. And when it opens it, it's only to give one warning, before attacking with terrifying speed. The black mamba is not only one of the most venomous snakes in the world, it is also the fastest. It can move at over 20 kilometers per hour, making it an unstoppable shadow when it decides to strike. And it does so with surgical precision. Not one, but multiple rapid bites, injecting an extremely lethal neurotoxic venom. Without treatment, death can come in just 30 minutes. The venom blocks nerve impulses, paralyzes respiratory muscles, and shuts the body down from the inside. The unsettling part is that symptoms begin subtly. Blurred vision, cold sweat, a feeling of weakness, and then the abyss. What's most chilling is its temperament. The black mamba is highly territorial and aggressive, unusual for snakes. If it feels threatened, it doesn't hide. It rises, hisses loudly, and strikes without hesitation. This behavior, combined with its speed and venom, has made it an almost mythical figure in Africa. Some believe that crossing paths with it is a sign of certain death. Others see it as the guardian of the ancient spirits of the desert. But the truth is, if you ever see it open that mouth black as night, it's already too late. The mamba doesn't warn twice. Number 5. Russell's viper, Daboia russeli. On the dusty paths and rice fields of rural India, a threat hides among the tall grass. It doesn't hiss. It doesn't chase. It simply waits. And when you least expect it, it strikes. This is the Russell's viper, one of the most dangerous snakes in all of Asia. Its scientific name is Daboia russeli, but in many villages, it's simply called the silent snake. Unlike other vipers that live in remote areas, this one thrives near human settlements, and that makes it even more dangerous. It's responsible for one of the highest rates of snake bites in humans worldwide. Not because it's particularly aggressive, but because it's a master of camouflage. The circular brown patterns on its body blend perfectly with the dry ground. Many victims step on it by accident, and by then it's too late. Its venom is a lethal combination of hemotoxins and neurotoxins. That means it attacks both the nervous system and the blood, causing deadly clots, tissue necrosis, and acute kidney failure. Many people who survive the bite are left with permanent damage, amputations, chronic kidney problems, or partial paralysis. And there's something else. Russell's viper venom has also played an important role in science. Ironically, from its deadly toxicity came a valuable medical tool. A substance extracted from its venom is now used in blood clotting tests in hospitals worldwide. But don't be fooled. This viper, though small compared to other lethal snakes, is one of the most relentless silent killers in Asia. It can be found in open fields as well as rural gardens, and its bite doesn't always cause immediate pain, which makes it even more dangerous. Because once the venom takes effect, there's no turning back. Russell's viper doesn't need to chase its prey. It just waits, trusting that your next step will be your last. Number 6. Mozambique spitting cobra, Naja mozambica. On the dusty trails of East Africa, where shrubs crackle at the slightest step and the sun splits the earth with its relentless heat, hides a snake with a secret weapon. It doesn't need to bite to attack. All it takes is locking eyes with it to be marked for life. This is the feared Mozambique spitting cobra, known scientifically as Naja mozambica. Unlike other cobras that rely exclusively on their bite, this species has perfected a unique and terrifying technique, spitting venom with surgical precision into the eyes of its enemy. It can do it from more than 2 meters away, like a sniper of the animal kingdom. And it doesn't miss. Its venom is a combination of neurotoxins and cytotoxins, a doubly lethal cocktail. If it hits the eyes, it causes extreme pain, severe swelling, and permanent blindness if not treated immediately. But if it enters the bloodstream through a bite, it can paralyze the nervous system and destroy cellular tissue from within, causing death in a short time. But it's not just the toxicity that makes it dangerous. It's its defensive behavior and intelligence in assessing threats. The Mozambique spitting cobra doesn't attack without reason. It rears up, spreads its hood, and locks eyes with its opponent. If they don't back off, it fires a cloud of venom directly into their eyes. A warning few forget. In its natural environment, it has developed this ability not only to hunt, but also to defend itself from much larger predators. Birds of prey, big cats, even humans have learned to fear it. Because this cobra doesn't need to get close to cause harm. Its safety distance is also its strike zone. And the most terrifying part, when it spits, it doesn't do it just once. It can fire several bursts in seconds, a reminder that in Africa, even a glance can be deadly. The spitting cobra doesn't just defend itself, it warns, aims, and fires with the precision of a trained assassin. Number 7. Beaked sea snake, Enhydrina schistosa. In the warm waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, among coral reefs and sandy bottoms, glides a creature that looks like it came from a marine legend. With graceful movements and a silver body marked with dark bands, the beaked sea snake, or Enhydrina schistosa, is a lethal beauty that rules beneath the surface. At first glance, it doesn't seem dangerous. In fact, many divers have seen it swimming just meters away without any signs of aggression. But what few know is that this snake's venom is up to 10 times more toxic than that of a land cobra. Just a small amount is enough to kill several adult humans. And the most puzzling thing, despite its lethality, it rarely attacks, unless provoked. This species is a fascinating enigma. It spends almost its entire life in the water, surfacing only briefly to breathe. Its body is perfectly adapted to the aquatic environment. It can swim quickly and precisely, and its jaw is specialized for hunting fish and crustaceans with incredible efficiency. But here's the truly terrifying part. Its bite may go unnoticed at first. Many victims feel no immediate pain. Only minutes later do the symptoms begin. Difficulty breathing, muscle paralysis, and, if not treated quickly, death. It's a silent and treacherous killer. The beaked sea snake is also responsible for the highest number of snake envenomations among fishermen in South Asia, as it often gets accidentally caught in nets or traps. And while it doesn't seek conflict, if it feels trapped, it will bite without warning. Despite its power, its nature is not aggressive. In fact, this deadly snake is a master at avoiding trouble. But if it crosses the path of someone who doesn't respect it, it can turn into a nightmare beneath the waves. Because in the underwater world, not everything that glitters is harmless. And there are venoms that kill without sound, without warning, and without a second chance. 8. Gaboon viper, Beaked gabonica. In the shadows of Central Africa's humid forests, where the foliage is dense and the ground crunches under the weight of wildlife, hides a master of camouflage, silent, motionless, and deadly. We are talking about the Gaboon viper, one of the most impressive and dangerous snakes on the African continent. Its broad, heavy body is adorned with a pattern of colors that perfectly mimics the fallen leaves on the forest floor. You could walk just inches away from it without noticing. But if you step on it or make it feel threatened, its response will be devastating. The Gaboon viper has the longest fangs in the snake world, up to 5 centimeters of pure, needle-sharp, venom-delivering weaponry. And not only that, it can also inject the largest volume of venom in a single bite, a mixture of cytotoxic and hemotoxic toxins that destroy tissue, collapse blood vessels, and can cause death within hours. What's most curious is its behavior. Unlike other fast and aggressive snakes, the Gaboon viper is slow, patient, almost lazy. It doesn't move unless absolutely necessary. Its strategy is that of the hunter who waits, and it works. It can remain motionless for hours until a prey, a rodent, a bird, or even a small antelope, comes close enough. Then, in a fraction of a second, it strikes with surgical precision and surprising force. And although it rarely attacks humans, when it does, the result is alarming. The tissue around the bite begins to necrotize, organs fail, and blood becomes uncontrollable. Without immediate antivenom, the outcome can be fatal. The Gaboon viper is a unique combination of discretion and power. A predator that doesn't need to run or chase. It only needs to wait. And when the moment comes, it shows exactly why it is one of the deadliest snakes on the planet. In the jungle, silence is not always peace. Sometimes it is a viper waiting in the shadows. 9. Coastal taipan, Oxyuranus scutellatus. In the wild lands of northern Australia and the humid jungles of New Guinea lives a snake straight out of a nightmare. Sleek, fast, and absolutely lethal. This is the coastal taipan, also known as Oxyuranus scutellatus, one of the most venomous and feared snakes on Earth. Unlike its relative, the inland taipan, this species lives closer to coastal and tropical habitats. But don't be deceived by its lush surroundings. The coastal taipan's venom is a devastating mix of neurotoxic and myotoxic components, meaning it attacks both the nervous system and muscle tissue. In other words, if it bites, the body collapses from within, and it happens fast. Its bite can cause paralysis in minutes and lead to respiratory failure before the victim even has time to call for help. Muscle tissue is progressively destroyed, including that of the heart. Without treatment, death can occur in under an hour. But there's a detail that makes it even more dangerous. The coastal taipan is highly aggressive. If it feels cornered, it will not hesitate to strike with almost impossible to dodge precision and speed. What's impressive is that, despite its extreme toxicity, this snake also possesses fearsome agility. It can lift the front part of its body into an intimidating stance and deliver multiple rapid bites in seconds. Its accuracy is deadly, and with each bite, it injects enough venom to kill several adult humans. Fortunately, there is an effective antivenom, but it must be administered quickly. Because with the coastal taipan, the time window is short, very short. The coastal taipan is a living reminder that in nature, danger doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it slips silently through the undergrowth, eyes fixed, fangs ready, waiting for the perfect moment to prove why it is one of the world's deadliest predators. 10. Eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. In the vast plains and rural areas of Australia, there's an agile shadow that glides through tall grasses, invisible to the untrained eye, until it's too late. The eastern brown snake, known scientifically as Pseudonaja textilis, is one of the most feared snakes on the continent, and for good reason. It doesn't need to be huge or hiss menacingly to command respect. Its venom is the second most toxic of all terrestrial snakes. And the worst part is its personality. This snake is not shy, nor does it flee at the sight of humans. On the contrary, it can attack with lightning speed and surgical precision. When it feels threatened, it rises into an S shape, opens its mouth, and in milliseconds delivers a bite that can change everything. A single dose of its venom can kill a human in less than an hour, sometimes in just minutes if left untreated. Its toxins act in both neurotoxic and anticoagulant ways, causing circulatory collapse, paralysis, and failure of vital organs. Most unsettling of all, many of its bites are so clean that at first the victim feels no pain, until it's too late. This snake is especially dangerous in inhabited areas, as it often appears in farms, yards, and sheds while hunting for rodents. And its light brown or beige color, similar to the dry, dusty surroundings of many Australian regions, makes it nearly invisible. Did you know that, despite its medium size and unassuming appearance, the eastern brown snake is responsible for most snakebite deaths in Australia? Not because of its size, but because of its speed, aggression, and venom that leaves no room for mistakes. In the world of deadly snakes, the eastern brown is the perfect balance between stealth and lethality. A real threat that moves among us with the ease of a creature that rules its land. Because here, in the red earth of the south, even the simplest things can be deadly. 11. Philippine cobra, Naja philippinensis. In the tropical islands of the Philippines, where the jungle is thick and the heat seems to hang in the air, hides one of Southeast Asia's most feared snakes, the Philippine cobra, Naja philippinensis. It's not just a local legend or an exaggerated rumor. This cobra is as deadly as it is stealthy, and unlike many others, it doesn't even need to touch you to harm you. Armed with pure neurotoxic venom, a single bite can trigger a nervous system collapse in under 30 minutes. But the most chilling thing is not its bite. It's its aim. This cobra can spit its venom directly into the eyes of its target, and it does so with astonishing accuracy, even from more than 3 meters away. In other words, it can blind its enemy before they get close, and if the venom makes direct contact with the eyes, it can cause anything from extreme irritation to permanent blindness. The Philippine cobra is not the largest snake, but it is one of the most dangerous. It is agile, territorial, and highly defensive. When threatened, it raises itself, flares its classic hood, and emits a sharp hiss, a clear warning to locals. Not one step closer. And if that warning is ignored, it will attack without hesitation. It is often found near human settlements, hiding among rice paddies or beneath wooden structures, drawn by rodents and other small prey. This proximity to everyday life makes it an even greater concern for people living in rural areas. The most curious and terrifying fact is that the Philippine cobra rarely misses when it spits. Its venom acts like a true paralytic toxin, affecting both respiratory and motor functions. In the Philippine jungle, where medical help may be miles away, an encounter with this snake can turn into a race against time. Here, in the land of volcanoes and typhoons, death can come without touching you, just by looking into the eyes of the Philippine cobra. 12. Saw-scaled viper, Echis carinatus. In the arid deserts and rocky regions of the Middle East and Asia lives a small but deadly snake, a master in the art of lethal camouflage, the saw-scaled viper, Echis carinatus. It may not exceed 60 centimeters in length, but don't let its size fool you. This viper is one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet, and the scariest part is that almost no one sees it coming. Its name comes from the strongly keeled scales on its flanks, which it uses to produce a threatening sound when it feels in danger. By rubbing its sides together in a side-to-side motion, It creates a dry rasping noise, very similar to a maraca. But that warning usually comes when it's already too late. This viper is nocturnal, stealthy, and a camouflage expert, blending perfectly with sand and rocks. And when it strikes, it does so with lightning speed. Its hemotoxic venom attacks the blood and tissues. It can cause internal bleeding, kidney failure, severe necrosis, and, if untreated, death within hours. This species is estimated to be responsible for more human deaths each year than any other venomous snake in the world. And that's due not only to its venom, but also to its behavior. The saw-scaled viper is known to be highly irritable and aggressive. Unlike other snakes that flee from danger, this one stands its ground and strikes quickly. In many rural regions of Asia and the Middle East, where walking barefoot is common, encounters with this viper are frequent and deadly. Perhaps the most striking fact is that, despite its notoriety and lethality, it often goes unnoticed. It can be right next to a path, under a rock, or among dry vegetation, invisible until it's too late. In this game of survival, the saw-scaled viper has the advantage: small, fast, and deadly. And its bite, silent at first, can mark the last step of anyone who doesn't see it coming. 13. Boomslang, Dispelitis typos. High in the trees of sub-Saharan Africa glides a snake of shy appearance, with large eyes and a piercing gaze. This is the Boomslang, Dispelitis typus, a silent killer that hides a deadly secret within its delicate fangs. Unlike many venomous snakes that issue warnings before attacking, the Boomslang prefers to go unnoticed, until it's too late. This arboreal reptile is extremely shy and evasive, but don't underestimate its power. Its venom is pure hemotoxin, and what makes it particularly lethal is the way it works. It destroys tissues and disrupts blood clotting, causing massive internal bleeding. The heart, brain, and lungs begin to bleed from within, in a slow but irreversible process if untreated. And here's the most chilling detail. Symptoms may take hours to appear. A Boomslang bite may seem harmless at first. In fact, the victim may continue their day, convinced it was just a scratch, until the venom begins to do its silent and deadly work. Nausea, dizziness, bleeding from gums, eyes, and nostrils are just the beginning of a terrifying outcome if the antidote is not administered in time. The Boomslang has rear fangs, which means it needs to bite deeply and chew to inject its venom. This led for years to an underestimation of its danger, until tragedy struck. In 1957, herpetologist Carl Schmidt, confident in his expertise, was bitten by a juvenile Boomslang. He meticulously recorded his symptoms without seeking medical help. He died the next day from internal bleeding, becoming a tragic testament to this snake's silent power. What makes the Boomslang especially fearsome is not its aggressiveness, but its ability to kill without being detected. Silent, lethal, and hidden among the branches, it's a living reminder that in nature, the threat doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just glides and waits. 14. Indian cobra, Naja Naja. In the fields and villages of India, where rural life coexists closely with nature, there is a figure that inspires respect, fear, and even devotion. This is the Indian cobra, or Naja Naja, one of the most recognizable snakes on the planet, known both for its distinctive hood and its deadly venom. But this exotic beauty is more than a cultural icon. It is one of the leading causes of snakebite deaths worldwide. It belongs to the feared group known as the Big Four, the four most dangerous snake species in India due to their high rate of encounters with humans. What makes it so deadly is not just the potency of its neurotoxic venom, which can paralyze the nervous system within minutes, but also its close proximity to inhabited areas, and its tendency to defend itself aggressively when threatened. Its bite can cause respiratory failure, paralysis, and death if the antivenom is not administered quickly. And while many hospitals in India have antivenom, lack of medical access in rural areas means this cobra claims thousands of lives each year. Curiously, despite its danger, this snake is also revered in Hindu folklore and frequently appears in religious rituals and festivals such as Nag Panchami, where it is honored. Its ability to spread its hood and produce a threatening hiss makes it one of the most impressive displays in the animal kingdom. But beware, behind that hypnotic dance lies a deadly warning. The Indian cobra does not attack for pleasure, but if provoked, it will not hesitate to show you why it is one of the queens of venom. 15. Eastern coral snake, Macrurus fulvius. In the temperate and subtropical forests of the Americas, a multicolored killer glides silently. With red, yellow, and black bands, the eastern coral snake, Macrurus fulvius, looks more like an exotic ornament than a threat. But don't be deceived by its vibrant appearance. Its venom is one of the most potent on the continent and works like a silent blackout of the nervous system. The most unsettling thing is its attack strategy. Unlike other snakes that inflict painful bites, the coral snake bites almost imperceptibly. No immediate pain, no apparent bleeding. The victim may not even realize what just happened, until it's too late. Hours later, the muscles begin to fail, breathing becomes difficult, and the body enters neuromuscular collapse. Its neurotoxic venom blocks communication between nerves and muscles, causing progressive paralysis. Without treatment, it can lead to death by asphyxiation, even if the bite initially went unnoticed. And most surprisingly, despite being so lethal, the coral snake is shy, avoids conflict, and only bites if it feels truly cornered. In the wild, it is often confused with non-venomous snakes that mimic its color pattern. This is why the famous rhyme arose: red on yellow, kill a fellow; red on black, friend of Jack. Although not foolproof, this saying has saved more than one life. Its deceptive beauty and silent lethality make the coral snake a symbol of hidden danger. In the world of venomous snakes, the strongest or fastest doesn't always win. Sometimes, the one you don't see coming wins, and by then, there's no turning back.